Akhand Bharat, a Sanskrit term signifying an undivided India, reverberates through the corridors of history. It speaks of a time when the Indian subcontinent existed as a single entity, unbound by the modern borders that now divide it. This concept, rooted in ancient scriptures and the memories of vast empires, continues to exert a powerful influence on the political and cultural landscape of South Asia. While some view it as a nostalgic yearning for a bygone era, others see it as a potent symbol of unity, capable of transcending the political realities of the present day. The idea of Akhand Bharat is deeply intertwined with the history of the subcontinent, reaching back to a time when kingdoms rose and fell, leaving behind a legacy of shared cultural and religious practices. The ebb and flow of empires, from the Mauryas to the Mughals, shaped the contours of this vision, feeding a collective memory of a time when the landmass was united under a single banner. The concept gained particular prominence during the Indian independence movement, as nationalist leaders envisioned a unified nation free from colonial rule. However, the dream of Akhand Bharat was shattered with the partition of India and Pakistan in 1947. The trauma of division, marked by violence and displacement, left a deep scar on the subcontinent's psyche. The seeds of Akhand Bharat were sown in antiquity, during the rise of powerful empires that sought to unify the vast expanse of the Indian subcontinent. The Mauryan Empire, under the reign of Emperor Ashoka in the 3rd century BCE, extended its reach across much of present-day India, Pakistan, and Afghanistan. Ashoka's embrace of Buddhism as a unifying force, coupled with his focus on infrastructure development and centralized administration, contributed to a sense of shared identity and interconnectedness across the empire. Centuries later, the Gupta Empire, flourishing between the 4th and 6th centuries CE, further strengthened the idea of a unified India. The Guptas, known for their patronage of art, literature, and science, fostered a cultural renaissance that extended beyond their political boundaries. Their influence reached across the subcontinent, laying the groundwork for a shared cultural heritage that transcended regional differences. These empires, while distinct in their ideologies and approaches to governance, fostered a sense of interconnectedness across the subcontinent. Their legacies, etched in stone inscriptions and the remnants of grand cities, served as a testament to the possibility of a unified India. The idea of Akhand Bharat, therefore, emerged not merely as a political aspiration, but as a reflection of a shared history and a recognition of the deep cultural ties that bound the people of the subcontinent together. The partition of India and Pakistan in 1947 dealt a devastating blow to the dream of Akhand Bharat. The creation of two separate nations, based on religious lines, resulted in one of the largest mass migrations in human history. Millions of Hindus, Muslims, and Sikhs were uprooted from their homes, forced to cross newly drawn borders in search of safety and belonging. The violence that accompanied partition left an enduring scar on the subcontinent's psyche, shattering the vision of a unified India. The partition not only divided the land, but also fractured the collective memory of a shared past. The trauma of displacement and violence fueled resentment and mistrust between communities, further solidifying the newly formed borders. The dream of Akhand Bharat was relegated to the realm of nostalgia, a poignant reminder of what could have been. The political realities of a divided subcontinent, marked by conflict and suspicion, overshadowed the vision of unity that had inspired generations of Indians. The partition served as a stark reminder of the fragility of national unity and the devastating consequences of prioritizing religious and ethnic divisions over shared history and common ground. The dream of Akhand Bharat, once a beacon of hope for a united future, now lay shattered, its fragments scattered across a fractured subcontinent. In the decades following partition, the idea of Akhand Bharat found new life in the rhetoric of Hindu nationalist groups. These groups, seeking to assert Hindu dominance in India's political landscape, embraced the concept as a means of reclaiming a perceived lost glory. They envisioned a return to a time when Hinduism was the dominant faith and the subcontinent was united under a single Hindu identity. This political interpretation of Akhand Bharat often intertwined with calls for the restoration of ancient Hindu kingdoms and the rewriting of history, proved controversial. Critics argued that it promoted an exclusionary vision of India, marginalizing minority communities and fueling tensions with neighboring countries. The use of Akhand Bharat as a political tool, therefore, served to further divide rather than unite the subcontinent. The re-emergence of Akhand Bharat in the political arena reignited debates about the nature of Indian identity and the legacy of partition. While some saw it as a potent symbol of national pride and unity, others viewed it as a dangerous ideology that threatened the secular fabric of India and its relations with neighboring countries. The concept, once rooted in a vision of shared history and cultural unity, had been co-opted for political gain, its meaning distorted to serve the agendas of a select few. Despite the political turmoil and the divisive interpretations of Akhand Bharat, the cultural connections that bind the people of South Asia together remain undeniable. Shared languages, traditions, art forms, and cuisines transcend the borders that divide the subcontinent. From the rhythmic beats of Bollywood music to the intricate patterns of traditional textiles, the cultural tapestry of the region reflects a rich history of exchange and interconnectedness. The common threads that weave through the cultural fabric of South Asia serve as a powerful reminder of the shared heritage of its people. The influence of ancient empires, the blending of religious practices, and the exchange of ideas across centuries have created a unique cultural landscape that defies easy categorization. This inherent unity and diversity challenges the divisive narratives that seek to define Akhand Bharat solely along religious or national lines. It highlights the richness and complexity of South Asian identity, demonstrating that cultural connections can transcend political boundaries and foster a sense of shared belonging. The cultural reality of Akhand Bharat, therefore, lies not in the pursuit of a homogeneous entity, but in the recognition and celebration of the subcontinent's rich tapestry of tradition.